Are you looking for an affordable and sustainable way to fill your raised garden bed? Look no further. Using the Hugelkultur technique, we'll show you how to create a moisture retentive and enriched environment for your plants using materials like rotting logs, garden trimmings, wood chips, cardboard, cow manure and homemade compost. And the best part, it's all natural and organic. I will show you how to fill your raised garden bed with free and sustainable materials. Don't miss out on this cost-effective gardening solution. Stay tuned. I'm Tony O'Neill and this is Simplified Gardening. The pros and cons of raised garden beds. Raised garden beds have become a popular option for many gardeners, and for good reason. One of the biggest advantages of raised garden beds is that they can help reduce weed growth, which can save time and effort in maintaining your garden. In addition, raised garden beds bring the growing area to a standing height, which can prevent back pain and from bending over and kneeling on the ground. Another benefit of raised garden beds is that they can prevent some pest species like carrot root fly, as the elevated growing area makes it harder for them to reach the plants. Raised garden beds are also easy to maintain and can warm up quicker in the spring, which can extend your growing season. They can also hold moisture better and have less evaporation, creating the ideal conditions for plants by amending the growing medium. However, there are some drawbacks to consider. Raised garden beds require large amounts of materials to fill, and the weight of the soil and other materials can cause the sides of the bed to bow in or out, depending on the design. Filling the bed can also be a lot of work and can be expensive if you don't follow our cost-effective solution in this video. Overall, raised garden beds can be a great option for gardeners who want to maximize their growing space and create an ideal environment for their plants. With the proper planning and materials, raised garden beds can be a great addition to any garden. When it comes to filling raised garden beds with the Hugelkultur methods, there are a few key materials that you'll need to get started. And first, you'll want to gather some rotting logs. These are important because they're already in the process of decomposition and they act like a sponge, holding water and releasing it back to the bed when needed. Next, you'll need some old poultry floor bedding. This used to be wood chips, but it's now filled with high nitrogen chicken manure, making it an excellent addition to the bed. You can also use cuttings from fruit bushes and other garden trimmings, as well as old cardboard, wood chips, cow manure and homemade compost. By using these materials, you can create a raised garden bed that is filled with natural organic matter, enriching the soil and providing nutrient-rich environment for your plants to thrive. Most of the materials we're using today to fill our raised garden beds for free are found in the garden. However, there are some that require collecting. I will go through them one by one to make it easier for you to know where you can get yours. Rotting logs can be collected. These are pretty easy. There are many old trees that may have fallen near you. Tree surgeons or councils may just leave them lying on the floor. All you have to do is go and ask for permission and look for them. Pick logs that are already in a state of decomposition. This will be much better for your beds. When using the Hugelkultur method, it'll allow it to absorb moisture and act like a sponge. Number 2. The poultry bedding is removed from the floor of the poultry cage. I use a deep litter bedding and every now and again I dig it out and compost it. However, it's an ideal medium to add to your Hugelkultur beds. It was originally wood chip and now it's been broken down by the chickens, and it contains high amounts of nitrogen from their feces. Number 3. Trimmings from the garden are ideal. Anything that you would normally compost can be added to the bed. So if you have a raised garden bed filled, just hold off throwing this stuff into the compost. Cardboard is ideal to add if you have it. It's a great carbon source and it's free and holds water. It's also perfect for worms to lay their eggs in. Cow manure, if you're lucky enough, you can get this for free from a local farmer, just as I did. However, some are now charging for this, but the amounts are relatively low, typically around £30 or $45 for a 3 or 4 ton load, but I'm quite lucky that I didn't need to pay for it. And last but certainly not least, homemade compost. If you have followed me for any amount of time, you know I love making my own compost. I love the process of making compost, and we will use this as the top layer for these beds because it's ideal for sowing seeds or planting into. But let's face it, making compost can be a real challenge. That's why I wrote my first book, and it's highly recommended Composting Masterclass. It's the ultimate guide to making nutrient-rich compost at home. This book covers all the essentials of composting, from the understanding of the soil food web to selecting the right composting vessel for your needs. It's tailored to gardeners who struggle with making compost at home and want to save time and money while creating nutrient-rich soil for their garden. With the help of this book, you can say goodbye to all the frustrations of compost that doesn't break down or turns into a slimy mess. By creating your own compost, you'll save money on store-bought potting soil while having complete control over the quality yourself. You'll also reduce the waste and make the most of the resources provided by your garden. With Composting Masterclass, you'll feel confident in your ability to create nutrient-dense soil which will help your plants thrive. And one other bonus, it's perfect for topping off these raised beds that we are filling here. Ready to become a composting pro? Then the link to purchase Composting Masterclass will be in the description below. Before filling the bed, if you have used ground fabric like I have here, it's best to remove this from inside the raised garden bed. It will allow the worms and other soil biota to travel into the bed. By the way, these beds are totally amazing. They're easy to put together and awesome quality. They're made by the Birdies brand, and if you want to get your very own, the link is in the description for you. Now let's crack on. When filling the bed, start with a layer of rotting logs. Place them as tight as you can. Ideally, we want to interlock them and not have them lying in the same direction. The reason for this is it will act like one piece and will take much longer to rot down. The next level is to bury these logs with the broken down poultry bedding. This must be worked in between the logs and fill that cavity. It acts like a highway for biology to move between the layers. But not only this, it helps to break down the logs and removes any air pockets, which will reduce the settling process. The next level is all about the garden cuttings and waste. Layer this into the base and level it off. This is a fine layer of woodier material. If you have cardboard, this can go on top. Either ensure it's soaking wet or broken into smaller pieces so that it does not trap too much air when you put it in the bed. Wood chips can be used to go on top of the cardboard, cutting to fill in the gaps and remove voids. If you're lucky and have cow manure, this is the last but one layer in the bed. It can take up quite a good few inches and provides tons of nitrogen for both the plants and the decomposition of the materials below. And finally, top off with some quality homemade compost. This makes the perfect sowing or planting medium to top the bed off. After planting, I'd consider mulching with a rapeseed straw or a sugarcane mulch, something to prevent moisture loss and to cut down on weed growth. So I've shown you how to fill a raised garden bed for free using sustainable and organic materials with the Hugelkultur technique. By using rotting logs, garden trimmings, wood chips, cardboard, cow manure and homemade compost, you can create the nutrient-rich environment for your plants that will produce healthy, thriving crops for years to come. Not only is this method affordable and eco-friendly, but it also reduces weed growth and prevents back pain from bending down and working the ground. And they also warm up much quicker than the ground as well in spring. I hope that this video has been informative and helpful and that you feel empowered to try this technique for yourself. If you want to see how to build raised garden beds at home, check out this playlist where I show you not only how to build your own raised garden beds or how to put together these store-bought versions. Don't forget to smash that like button. I'm Tony O'Neill and this is Simplified Gardening. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.